Here is your expanded script, designed to be approximately double the length. I've added deeper psychological insights, more detailed examples, expanded the story of Elon, and included practical steps for each trap to make the content richer and more actionable. You're standing on a ship. It's beautiful. Gleaming white paint, polished brass railings, spacious decks. From a distance, it looks like a luxury vessel, the kind of thing you'd see in magazines or movies. It's strong, or at least it looks strong. Expensive. Clearly, whoever owns this ship has done well for themselves. People on the shore look at you sailing by and they think, with a mix of admiration and envy, wow, he made it. He really made it. That's the dream right there. But there's one problem. One tiny, almost invisible problem. The ship has a leak. Nothing dramatic. No gaping hole, no alarm bells ringing. Just a slow, steady drip somewhere deep in the hull. A drip that started so small, no one even noticed it at first. A drip that, on any given day, seems completely insignificant. And every single day, that drip adds a little more water to the bottom of the ship. Not enough to panic. Not enough to make the ship list or feel unstable. Not enough to notice, unless you were really, really looking. But enough, over months and years, to slowly, quietly, and inevitably sink you. That is exactly how money works for most people in their 50s. That is the hidden reality behind countless apparently successful lives. They're not broke. They don't look like they're struggling. From the outside, everything looks perfect. They have the house, the car, the career, the lifestyle. They look like they've won the game. But slowly, invisibly, they're going under. The water is rising. The financial floor is getting higher and higher, and the hull is taking on more and more weight. And one day, a small wave, a minor market correction, a health issue, a job loss, will be the thing that finally pushes them under. Today, I'm going to show you the 4 hidden financial traps that quietly destroy your future. The traps that don't look like traps. The traps that look like success. I'm going to explain why even successful, high-earning people fall into them, often without ever realizing it. And most importantly, I'm going to show you how to escape before it's too late, before the water rises above your deck. Most people believe something that sounds completely obvious. They believe this. If I just earn more money, I'll finally be safe. If I can just increase my income enough, get that promotion, land that higher paying job, then all my financial problems will be solved. And for a while, when you first start earning more, it feels true. You get a raise, you see a bigger number in your bank account, and you feel a surge of relief and validation. You upgrade your life a little. You feel successful. You feel like you're finally getting ahead. But here's the truth that no one tells you, the truth that contradicts everything we're taught about money. Income can grow steadily, year after year, while your freedom, your actual financial freedom, quietly disappears. Because success today, the kind of success that looks good on Instagram and impresses your neighbors, often comes with something invisible attached. Not rewards. Not benefits. Not security. Obligations. Each step up the ladder doesn't just bring more money. It brings more things that require money. More expenses. More commitments. More golden chains that tie you to your paycheck. Let me give you a new way to think about your expenses. A way that might change how you see your entire financial life. Forget the word expenses for a moment. It's too neutral. Too bland. It doesn't capture what's really happening. Instead, think of your expenses as golden chains. They look beautiful. They shine. They feel like achievements, like proof that you've succeeded. A bigger house with a mortgage to match. That's a golden chain. A nicer car with a monthly payment. That's a golden chain. Private school tuition for the kids. Golden chain. Country club memberships, premium streaming packages, regular vacations, expensive hobbies. Golden chains, one after another. Each one whispers to you, you made it. You're successful. You deserve this. But each one also whispers something else, something quieter that you're not supposed to hear. Each one says, you can't leave. You can't stop. You can't change your mind. Because every single month, without fail, these golden chains pull money out of your life. They require your income. They demand your continued participation in the game. They lock you into your current job, your current career, your current lifestyle, whether you still want it or not. And here's the most dangerous part, the part that makes this trap so effective. You don't feel trapped. You don't feel like a prisoner. You feel comfortable. You feel successful. You feel like you're living the life you always wanted. The chains are golden, after all. They're comfortable. They're beautiful. But they're still chains. Let's make this real. Let's create a person and look inside his apparently perfect life. We'll call him Elon. Not the famous one. Just a regular guy who did everything right. Elon is 52 years old. He's been working for 3 decades. He built a solid career, climbing the corporate ladder step by step. He earns great money now, well into 6 figures. He owns a beautiful home in a good neighborhood. He supports his family comfortably. His kids go to good schools. He drives a nice car. He takes a nice vacation every year. From the outside, if you were walking down his street or looking at his life on social media, you would think, that's it. That's the goal. That's a successful life. But let's look deeper. Let's open the books. Let's see what actually happens every single month inside Elon's financial life. Every month, without fail, Elon pays a mortgage on that beautiful house. Not a small one. He bought at the top of his budget because the bank said he could afford it. Let's say $3,500. A car payment for that nice car. Actually, 2 car payments, because his spouse also drives a nice car. Another $1,200. Insurance for everything. Home, cars, life, health. Another $800. School expenses for the kids. Activities, supplies, maybe some private tuition. Another $1,000. Subscriptions. Streaming services, gym memberships, software, apps. Another $300. Lifestyle. Restaurants, entertainment, clothes, hobbies, the occasional weekend trip. Another $1,500. Utilities, phone bills, internet, all the basic costs of running a modern life. Another $600. Before Elon even has a chance to think about saving or investing, before he can even consider building wealth for the future, most of his income is already gone. It's spoken for. It's committed. It's chained. He's not failing. He's not irresponsible. He's not bad with money. He's just stuck. His ship is beautiful, but it's taking on water. When you look at Elon's situation, your first instinct might be to think, his problem is obvious. He needs to earn more money. If he just made $20,000 more a year, everything would be fine. But that's not the real problem. That's a surface-level solution that ignores the underlying structure. The real problem is something that most people never calculate, never even think to calculate. The real problem is how much life costs just to stay still. This is what I call your financial floor. It's the minimum amount of money you need every single month just to maintain your current life, to keep all your plates spinning, to prevent everything from crashing down. If your financial floor is too high, if your basic cost of living consumes most or all of your income, then you can't build wealth. It doesn't matter how much you earn. It doesn't matter if you get a raise or a promotion or a bonus. Because every increase in income will just raise the floor. every extra dollar will be absorbed by the lifestyle that's already in place. You'll be running faster and faster, but you'll never, ever get ahead. This is the trap. This is the leak in the ship. A high financial flaw that keeps you forever dependent on your next paycheck, no matter how large that paycheck is. Something subtle, almost invisible, happens in people's minds as they move through their late 40s and into their 50s. When you're in your 20s and 30s, your financial mindset is naturally focused on growth. You think, how do I earn more? How do I advance my career? How do I build something bigger? It's an expanding mindset. You're adding rungs to the ladder. But in your late 40s and 50s, something shifts. You start thinking differently. You stop asking, how do I grow? And start asking, how do I protect what I have? Sounds smart, right? Sounds responsible. Sounds like the mature thing to do. But here's the twist, the hidden danger that no one warns you about. Most people in their 50s are not actually protecting wealth. They don't have enough wealth to protect yet. They're still living paycheck to paycheck on a higher scale. What they're actually protecting is a lifestyle. A lifestyle that requires their full income to maintain. A lifestyle that leaves no margin, no buffer, no gap. And a lifestyle, no matter how nice it looks, is incredibly expensive to maintain. It requires constant feeding. It requires you to keep working, keep earning, keep showing up, even if you're tired, even if you're burned out, even if you'd rather be doing something else. You're not protecting your future. You're protecting your past spending decisions. Now let me show you how this trap actually gets built. It's not built with one big, dramatic mistake. It's not built by buying a yacht or a private island. It's built slowly, over decades, with many small, reasonable, seemingly wise decisions. Each decision, by itself, makes perfect sense. In your 30s, you say, I can afford this house. It's a good investment. It's where I want to raise my family. Reasonable. In your 40s, you say, I deserve this car. I've worked hard. I've earned it. Reasonable. When your kids are school-aged, you say, this school is better for them. It's worth the cost for their future. Reasonable. As you move up in your career, you say, I need to dress well, eat out with clients, maintain a certain image. It's part of the job. Reasonable. Each decision, individually, is defensible. Each one makes sense in isolation. But together, over time, they form a stack. They pile on top of each other. And that stack becomes pressure. Financial pressure. Psychological pressure. The pressure of having to maintain it all. Each new layer adds weight. Each new obligation raises the floor. Each new golden chain makes it harder to move, harder to change, harder to escape. And you never notice it happening, because each decision felt so right at the time. Your brain is not designed to track total cost. It's not designed to add up all your expenses and feel the cumulative weight. Your brain is designed to track monthly payments. It's designed for cash flow, not balance sheets. If you can make the monthly payment, if the money comes out of your account without bouncing, your brain interprets that as I can afford this. It's a simple, automatic, unconscious judgment. But affordability is not the same as wealth. Affordability just means you have enough cash flow to cover your obligations this month. It says nothing about your future, nothing about your freedom, nothing about your security. Cash flow can lie to you. A high income with high expenses can feel exactly the same as a moderate income with moderate expenses. The monthly rhythm is the same. The stress is the same. The lack of margin is the same. But the risk is completely different. Because the person with high expenses has much further to fall. Their floor is higher. Their safety net is thinner. Their ship is taking on more water. Now let's talk about something that almost no one understands, something that becomes critically important in your 50s. The timing trap. Imagine this scenario. You're 58 years old. You've been investing for decades. Your retirement accounts have grown nicely. You look at the numbers and everything seems fine. You're planning to retire in a few years. Then the market drops. Hard. Not a small correction, but a real crash, the kind that happens every decade or so. Your portfolio loses 30% or 40% of its value. But here's the problem. You're not 30 anymore. You don't have 30 years to wait for the market to recover. You need that money soon. You need to start withdrawing from your accounts to live on. So you're forced to sell. You sell investments at the worst possible time, when prices are low, when everyone else is panicking. You lock in your losses. And even if the market eventually recovers, even if it goes on to new highs, you don't benefit. Because your money is already gone. You sold at the bottom. The recovery happens without you. This is called sequence of returns risk. It's one of the most dangerous risks in all of finance, and almost nobody plans for it. It's the risk that bad timing, a market crash right before or right after you retire, can permanently destroy your retirement, even if you did everything right for decades. Now let's talk about something even sneakier. Something that doesn't make a sound, doesn't trigger any alarms, but quietly drains your wealth year after year. Fees. Small percentages. 1%. 1.2%. Maybe 1.5% if you're paying a financial advisor or invested in expensive funds. Seems tiny, right? Who cares about 1%? But over time, over decades, that tiny percentage can cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's money that disappears slowly, quietly, without any emotion, without any drama. Let's do the math. Imagine you have $500,000 invested. If you're paying 1.5% in fees each year, that's $7,500 a year. Every year. Just in fees. Over 20 years, assuming your investments grow, those fees could easily add up to over $200,000. That's not money you lost in the market. That's not money that went to taxes. That's money that simply vanished, paid to someone else for services you might not even need. And you never feel it. You never see a bill for $200,000. You just see slightly lower returns, year after year, and you never connect the dots. Fees are the silent leak in the hull. The one you don't notice until it's too late. In your 50s, something else often happens. 3 big things, all at once, all demanding money. First, parents need help. Your parents are getting older. They need care, support, maybe assisted living. Healthcare is expensive. Long-term care is incredibly expensive. And you're the one who has to help. Second, kids need support. They're in college, or just out of college, trying to start their lives. Education costs have exploded. Rent is high. They need help, and you want to give it. You're their parent. Of course you'll help. Third, your own life changes. Maybe your career shifts. Maybe you get divorced. Maybe your health starts to decline. Maybe you're just tired, burned out, ready for something different. Each one of these things alone is manageable. You can handle helping your parents. You can handle helping your kids. You can handle a career shift. But together, all at once, they form a perfect storm. A triple hit that can break even a well-prepared financial life. And if you're already stretched thin, if your floor is already high, if your ship is already taking on water, the triple hit can sink you. There's one more trap. And it's not mathematical. It's psychological. Over the course of your career, you build an identity. Your job becomes part of who you are. Your title matters. Your income defines your status. Your lifestyle reflects your success to the world. And now, even if you're tired, even if you want to slow down, even if you'd rather do something else, you feel like you have to maintain it. You feel like you can't step down, can't simplify, can't change, because that would look like failure. That would mean admitting that you can't handle it anymore. Stepping down feels like losing. Simplifying feels like giving up. Cutting back feels like going backwards. But sometimes, stepping down is actually freedom. Sometimes, simplifying is the only way to save yourself. Sometimes, cutting back is the smartest financial move you can make. The status trap keeps you locked in a life you no longer want, paying for things you no longer need, working for reasons you no longer believe in. All because you're afraid of what other people might think. Let's compare two people at age 50. Same income. Same age. Same starting point. But completely different trajectories. Person A has spent their whole career maximizing lifestyle. Every raise, every promotion, every bonus has been absorbed by upgrades. Bigger house, nicer cars, more expensive habits. Their financial floor is sky high. They need their full income just to stay in place. They have no margin, no gap, no safety net. One setback, one market drop, one health issue, and they're in serious trouble. Person B has spent their whole career controlling lifestyle. They've taken raises and promotions, but they've kept their spending in check. They live well below their means. Their financial floor is low. They have a wide gap between what they earn and what they spend. They've invested that gap consistently for decades. After 15 years, the difference between Person A and Person B is massive. Not because of income. They earned the same. Not because of luck. They had the same opportunities. Because of decisions. Small, consistent, unglamorous decisions about what to spend and what to keep. Person A has a beautiful ship that's slowly sinking. Person B has a modest ship that's unsinkable. Let me give you the simple truth. The one thing that determines your financial future more than anything else. Your future is not controlled by the stock market. It's not controlled by the economy. It's not controlled by your salary, your boss, or your industry. Your future is controlled by one thing and one thing only. The gap between what you earn and what you keep. That's it. That's the whole game. Not what you earn. What you keep. You can earn $1 million a year, but if you spend $1,000,001, you're going backwards. You can earn $50,000 a year, but if you keep $10,000 of it and invest it wisely, you're building freedom. The gap is everything. The gap is where wealth is born. The gap is your margin. The gap is your escape route. Protect the gap with your life. So what do you do if you're in your 50s, or approaching your 50s, and you're starting to feel the water rising? What do you do if you suspect your ship might have a leak? Here are 4 practical steps. For things you can do today to start turning things around. Step 1. Find your real number. Not the number on your budget spreadsheet. The real number. How much money do you actually need every single month to survive? Not to maintain your lifestyle. Not to keep up appearances. To survive. To eat, to have a roof over your head, to keep the lights on. Calculate that number. Write it down. Know it cold. Step 2. Lower the floor. Pick one major obligation and eliminate it. Just one. Maybe it's the expensive car payment. Sell the car, buy something cheaper. Maybe it's the huge mortgage. Downsize to a smaller home. Maybe it's the private school. Find a different option. Just one change. Remove one golden chain. You will be amazed at how much lighter you feel. Step 3. Protect your future from bad timing. If you're within 10 years of retirement, you need a plan for market downturns. You need cash reserves, or bonds, or some other safe asset that you can live on during the bad years, so you don't have to sell your stocks when they're down. Plan for bad timing, not perfect timing. Step 4. Cut the hidden leaks. Look at your fees. Look at your subscriptions. Look at the small, recurring expenses that you've forgotten about. Cut them. Every dollar you save on waste is a dollar that can go into the gap. Most people don't fail financially in a dramatic way. There's no single moment of collapse, no explosion, no sudden bankruptcy. They slowly drift into a situation they can't escape. They wake up one day at 55 or 60 and realize they have no margin, no options, no freedom. They realize they have to keep working, keep grinding, keep showing up, even though they're exhausted, because the alternative is financial disaster. Not because they were careless. Not because they were stupid. But because everything looked fine along the way. Every decision made sense. Every expense felt reasonable. Every upgrade felt deserved. The truth is simple. It's not complicated. It's not exciting. But it's true. Freedom is not about earning more. Freedom is about needing less. And the moment you understand that, the moment you truly internalize it, everything changes. The golden chains start to feel heavy instead of beautiful. The leaks become visible instead of invisible. The ship stops taking on water. You can still sail. You just won't sink. If this video made you see money differently, if it opened your eyes to traps you didn't know existed, please hit that subscribe button right now. On this channel, we break down how money really works, beyond the myths we're taught. The traps and hidden systems that keep people from building freedom. And the practical strategies that help ordinary people escape and build real wealth. New videos every week. And tell me in the comments, what's one expense in your life right now that you know is holding you back? One golden chain you'd like to break? Because that one expense, that one chain, might be your first step toward freedom.